There's two main techniques on arm wrestling. There's the top row and there's the hook. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the hook. Alright, so the hook is an inside movement of arm wrestling. So in the hook, your target is to supinate your arm and attack your opponent's bicep and forearm. And with that, there's some aspect that is important on the hook that I'm going to explain in the next chapter. So this is how to do the hook, the general hook. There's a lot of kinds of hook, but this is the normal one. This is ready go scenario. Okay, so ready go. So that's how you do the hook. You supinate your arm and do this. Okay, so that's the hook. Okay, so the first part is the power. Okay, I will talk about the power. So in the hook, you depend on your bicep, your side pressure, and your wrist flexion and your cupping. Unlike the top row where you cup like this, the hook you cup like this. So you are the movement that you're doing on a hook is you try to curl your opponent down like this. You try to pull your opponent closer to you. So it is why it's called the inside move of arm wrestling, because you are pulling your opponents to you. Okay, so first in neutral, you pull. Okay, you pull with your back pressure, with your bicep and your wrist flexion. You do this. So your opponent can pronate you, but that's dependent on your opponent's power. But most of the time, you can secure your opponent if you already have this position. And the endurance, because if you are against a hook puller, hook versus hook puller, it will becomes hook wars. This is what I call the waiting game, because there's somebody who's gonna hit first, and then the opponent probably just defend, and then after you hit, your opponents will hit you back, and then it's all dependent on your endurance. So you need to have a lot of static training to make your endurance better, and I suggest you to get some high volume training, so your endurance, your air circulation is good while you're doing hook wars. Okay, so because the hook is one of the defensive movement of arm wrestling, so you could drain your opponent in this position until your opponent is drained. You can just easily pin him. And then the speed. Okay, so this is there's a lot of hook pullers that has incredible speed, like they are top rollers but they're hook. So from ready go, they just go side, boom, insane side pressure, right? Like Todd Hutchings, but he doesn't really initiate the wrist. He just go for full side pressure and just like kind of doing this. Okay, so that is a unique style of arm wrestling. So you need the speed part, because sometimes you're against a stronger guy than you, but you have the better speed. So when they are ready, go, you hit first, and then you just hit another time, and you can just transition to press. So that's the speed part. Okay, so you need to be faster than your opponent. It's actually just arm wrestling in general. You need to have that speed. to have the more of a head start, right? Right, so how to get a better precision at hook? So first, this is just a universal rule at arm wrestling. You need to be closer to your hand, to your body, you know, you need to close down like this. So because if you're doing hook like this, right, this is weaker than doing this. So the closer your arm is to your body, the stronger you become, and the harder for your enemy to, for example, one of the weakness of the hook is it's easy to press, you know, because you're doing this, your opponent can just transition into a press and hook and press you. But if you are closer to your body, right, and your back pressure is initiated like this, your opponent cannot really go and get into a press while you're doing this. But you need to have this in the first place. If you don't have that enough back pressure, again, you are not that you're not strong enough to do that to your opponent. So this is one of the way to get a better position. And then cup. You know, it's important to cup your opponent because you are most likely doing attacking with the hook, probably like attack. If you're not attacking, you can just climb your opponent. Again, you not really climbing this way, but climbing this way. So you're climbing, and boom, right? And then if you hit, right, it's the same like top row. If you hit, your opponent doesn't really get pinned, but your opponent is on a losing position, you hold. Either you hold or you transition to a press. So that is one of the strategy on hooking. So, and you could also sacrifice your elbow flexion. You could go this like you usually see this on a fast hook motion where you hit your opponent like this, like pure side pressure. If you are really seeing that you are stronger than your opponent, you could just go for the side pressure where you sacrifice your elbow flexion for more power in this. Thank you for watching.